Okay. What is going on? LBHT Crew B. What is going on?
I mean, not real happy to be back.
Welcome back. Welcome back from Portugal.
Thank you. Our GM traded Andy Dalton because he's the best GM in the league.
Listen, it may seem like nothing, but that is quite an accomplishment. I didn't think he could get it done.
Yeah,
but the man, he works miracles. Okay, that's real cooking. To convince anybody to send anything your way for Andy Dalton
and Jonathan Mingo. And he's got to be real persuasive when he gets on the phone.
Didn't you get a second round pick for Jonathan Mingo?
No,
you drafted him in the second round.
Yeah,
you got okay.
That's a wild return.
All right, y'all. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio form of this, we like to put this out on Thursday at lunchtime. So we hope you're enjoying your lunch break. Make sure you leave a 5-star review. Yes. Who we have in here? There's already 40 people in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Dr. Kush is here. Salute. We got Bazel. What's going on? Salute. Yes. We got Corey Carter in the house. Says salute, good brothers, in here early today. That's what I'm talking about. TC, what's going on? Says salute, Jose and Brodny. Brodny is the coolest. I tune in for your insight. Jose, keep doing your thing, big dog, on the morning show. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Adelia, the super producer, is here. Say hey, everyone.
What's up,
What's going on, Adelia? And I want to give a shout out to Adelia, Ferris, Hendo, and Coach came through last week to fill in for B's absence.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. We had a good time. And speaking of Hendo, one half of Jose and Hendo in the morning, right there, the roll pie. Let's go. Ashley, what's going on? Good evening. Evening. Just Aloe, salute, says good evening, LBHTShow friends. I hope everyone is doing well. Salute to you. Osman is here. Says Bazel Hendo, what's up?
What's up to you, Osman?
What's up, Osman? Salute to you. Edmund, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Who else we got in here? Urban is here. What's going on, Urban? We got Game Too Easy. He said, B cut trim that God of War beard. Yeah. He had changed it up a little bit. He'll be back. He'll go back out. You know, look, he had to change it up. He's going international. All right. Spirit of Justice says Bem-vindo, Brodny. Is that Portuguese?
You know, it very well may be. I did not.
He did not do his Duolingo.
I was doing Duolingo. Because initially I had been doing it for Spanish, and then I was like, okay, you know, we're going to Portugal. Let me switch to Portugal. And I was like, this should be pretty easy because they're very similar. And I started doing Portuguese, and I'm like, this is hard. And I switched to chess. So I'm at like 610 days in chess on Duolingo.
You can do chess, Duolingo?
You can do chess, you can do math, you can do music, a bunch of languages. They keep expanding.
Okay. Killers in the house says hola, Jose, and mucho gusto, Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
Yes. Bazel says Brodny was pimping and percolating in Portugal. Don't let him tell you otherwise.
What's up, Bazel?
Ray the Phantom, what's good? He says, what's good? EDC has only been awake for the Maxx Crosby trade. They went right back to sleep. EDC better pick up the phone quick and get weapons. Because right now we are not looking hot, not looking too hot. You're right. Slim Smith, salute. And we got a super chat from Massive B. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Says your last stream has been uploaded on Reddit and being discussed, especially Hendo monologue about how Ravens failed Lamar. Most are against defund the defense and not understanding Hendo on your points. On Reddit. We're on Reddit? Who made a Reddit stream or a Reddit thread? Is that what they call it? What do they call them? Reddit threads?
That's why they're against you right there. You don't understand. Wow.
They don't understand defund the defense because they don't watch the show. They're sending them our way. The whole point of defund the defense is the defense is fine, right? Like we are defensive guys, right? Both of our teams came up on defense, so real defenses. So we are very entertained by good defense. But we're saying the defense. First of all, the league is different now, right? You got to be able to put up points. The defense is good enough, you know. Got to invest in the offense. The person that we're expecting us to carry the team is on offense. That's our quarterback, Lamar Jackson. So you surround him with all the weapons and protection and whatever you have left over, then you can allocate it to the defense, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say defund the defense, that's what we mean. The offense eats first. Okay. Appreciate that super chat. Ravenville, what's going on? Says, what's up, LBHT? Hey, and B and Jose. What's going on?
Raven?
Stretch in here. What's going on, Stretch? Chemo, you guys are here, man. B. These last couple weeks, I can barely say hello. And they in here like, fire EDC now. 100 people, as soon as I hit live, 100 people jump in the chat. Get rid of him. You think there's a way, anyway, Lamar can still win a ring with Baltimore? Yeah. They've already wasted 2 years of Henry, and the roster doesn't seem to be getting any better. I'm absolutely sick and tired of the GM. Oh, no, they can win a Super Bowl. Like, it seems like we're saying the same things over and over. It's just because they're not making the changes. But if they make the changes, it doesn't even take that much. Me and you were just discussing it earlier. It doesn't take that much.
And even if they don't make the changes, they can still win a Super Bowl because Lamar is that good. They have that much talent on the defensive side of the ball. And look, they have made one of the changes. John Harbaugh's gone.
Facts.
That's a big one, right?
Facts.
So just the coaching change in itself could get them over the hump. But you don't want it to be a one and done type run. And you need to build around your franchise quarterback. That's how you maintain long-term success. But
absolutely,
they can absolutely win a Super Bowl.
But we're going to get more into that in a second. We'll get more into that. Let me give a couple more shout-outs. I'm not going to be able to hit everybody. Let's see. Let's do a speed run. Money Mike is here. TY89, Luke K99, Big Reg. What's going on, Big Reg? I see you in here. We got Corey Hunt. What's going on, Corey? Kim is here. What's up, Kim? Big Cuz, salute. The Flex Zone, see you in here. Harry Holland, salute. Our guy Ferris, we were just talking about Ferris earlier. I appreciate you coming through and subbing in the other day, Ferris. And Ferris was hanging out on the morning show. Appreciate you. He says, I think Ravens fans have a Reddit thread and someone uploaded your show to that thread. Oh, okay. All right. Well, send the thread. Let me take a look at it. Blacked Out Ice, what's going on? Says, when you got to go at QB and championship aspirations, negativity is just realistic expectations setting. EDC, act like you got a Ferrari in the garage and we'll all be positive. Yes. Oh, yes. Speaking of, there's a poll out there. Are we too negative? Okay, that seems to be the theme going on here that me, myself, B, Hendo.
I was not involved in that. That was you and Hendo. All right. Listen. No. Please, nothing. Please. Listen. Okay. I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm extremely positive on what's going on in Carolina this offseason. So I'm not involved in that. That's you and Hendo on the morning show.
I'll pump the brakes on that because I've seen some Panthers fans say, "B, you being too negative."
I mean, they don't know what they're talking about, but I'm talking about, listen. And I'm talking about specifically this offseason because there's not been a lot to be positive about in Carolina the last 7 years. This offseason,
they've been hitting.
Very positive on what's going on.
They've been hitting. Imani, I see you in here. Salute. What's going on? JR, salute. SV Cam, salute. Yolanda is here. What's going on, Yolanda? Good to see you. Who else is here? Zeke Hokage, what's good? I saw him. What's good? Tracy is here. That's what I'm talking about. Says, hey guys, B is back. Yes, B is back. Unfortunately. SB Cam likes to fall on me too negative. Just answer the question. J the 6 salute says, that's right, Brodny. Let them know we back up. That's right. And thank God you're back. Had to listen to all the Ravens show last week.
I'm sorry, Jay. That's my bad.
Hey, we put out a Panthers video. We gotta
do another one.
We gotta do another one.
Jay, let us know when you're available.
Yeah. And we gotta talk about so updated roster moves and whatnot. So
the draft gonna be incredible for Carolina.
Vicente, what's going on? Says Jose is more positive than Hendo. Jose still has hope we improve the offense. Hendo does too. Like me and Hendo say the same thing. We say it different ways. We both hope that they improve the offense. We just react to what's happening, right? And if we're a little pessimistic, it's because EDC's been doing this for 7 straight years. I mean, how many times you got seen in a row before you say, I don't know if he's going to actually get it done, right? Like, that's not being negative. You're just looking at what he's always done. So, all right, we're going to get into that. We have a lot to discuss. Sherelle, I see you in here. What's going on, Sherelle? Sneaking up in here. Hello, good evening to you. Okay. Dawson says, Jose, when do you sleep? Never. And if you have kids, you never sleep.
Turns out, Deron, you just get used to it.
You get used to it. When I had my 2 daughters, they're close in age. I'll just put it that way. They're close in age. And when I had Anita, we're at the hospital, and she started crying, and it's middle of the night. The nurse came in and said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna take her for a little bit. We gotta run some tests, this and that. Go ahead and get a little bit of sleep." But she looked me right in my eyes and she said, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, get used to not sleeping." I will never forget those words. That was 18 years ago. She said, "You will never sleep the same way again. The faster you accept that, the easier life is going to be." And I've always lived by that. I was just like, look, I'm just not going to sleep. For all my kids, they wake up in the middle of the night, I just jump right up. Okay, what do they need? They either need to be changed, they need to be fed, they need to be burped. One of those 3 things, right? When they get a little older, they want
or it's time to go to the hospital.
Yeah. But I just accepted that, and it doesn't change as they become adults. So yeah, I don't sleep. Okay, I sleep when I can. But let's put it that way. I support you 1,000%. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. We appreciate y'all. We really do. Right? Like, we got 107 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new in here. Hit that subscribe button. I remember when we did one of our first live streams, and somebody popped in there, and he was trolling. We had 2 people pop in there. God's Child popped in there. Shout out to God's Child. And then this troll came in there because he didn't like what we said about Des Bryant. Is when we signed Des Bryant, we're like, we don't think that's going to work out. And he was going at us. And we're just sitting there like, damn, somebody's talking to us. Because at that point, me and B weren't used to doing live streams. We were
like, I don't like this.
I was just like, damn. I was like, yo, people are coming in here. Like, should we respond back? Like, we just gotta look at it like, oh, I guess we should respond, right? It was a weird feeling, but here we are, man. Still going strong, and
flex zone.
Says y'all be big negative in the morning. But I understand. Big negative. Okay, yeah. All right.
I'm gonna have to give in there a vote too, because y'all. I can't.
Where are we with the poll?
All right.
Well, 75% of y'all said no so far.
Ooh,
all right.
Okay, maybe I should be on that side. I like to be on the winning side.
What? I think I did the poll wrong.
Oh, did you put up a misleading poll to get the results that you wanted?
RV2 negative is people are voting on that, but that's an option on it, I think. Oh no. It's just reading wrong on my end. I see. Oh, okay, that's going up and down. That's the percentage. That must be the percentage of people that have actually voted. So y'all need to vote on here. But 75% say no. 75% say no so far. Okay. Coach is here. What's going on, Coach? Thank you for the super chat. Said, what did B bring me back? That's what I want to know. What did B bring us back?
Positivity, baby. Because apparently I was gone for 1 week, and Hendo and Jose set the internet on fire, talking about
Hey,
how the Ravens are going to be 0-17. They're never going to win again. Lamar's never going to get a ring. EDC is going to be your GM for 30 years. Like, man, just all negative stuff.
hey, coach. Last week was on the show. He was just like, "Hey, Brodny was not here, but don't worry. I'll be B for 2 minutes. Ravens suck. Panthers are great." I said, "Thanks, B. Thanks for your contribution."
Wow. Yeah, you decided to be honest for once, coach? That's crazy. That's wild.
So anyway,
act like we not division champions.
Listen. If you think we're negative, right? Just tell us what you want to talk about that's positive about the team. If you think, hey, you guys are just talking too negative about the team, especially early in the morning, like Flexo said, right? Okay. What positive things would you like us to speak about the team? Just let us know. Put that in the chat. Say, hey, you guys can be talking about how Roquan is still top 2, not 2. You want me to talk about that? I can talk about that. You want to say, hey, listen, cornerbacks, lock down corners, right? We got that. We got that on lock. Hey, we got the two best safeties in the league, right? We can say that. I mean, you let me know. You let me know. Just put it in the chat, okay? Because it's all good over here. It's all good, all positive, okay? You just tell me talk about this, and I'm like, hey, you right. We got you. All right. Okay. All right. We're already 17 minutes into this show. We have not done a Black History fact yet, but we're about to. All right. We're about to. So if you're new here, we like to do this every week. We like to start the show with a Black History fact, and B and Akole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Bryan Stevenson's story reads like a steady, unbroken commitment to human dignity. Born in 1959 in Milton, Delaware, he grew up in a segregated community that shaped his understanding of inequality early on. After studying at Eastern University, he went on to earn both a law degree and a master's in public policy from Harvard, where he first encountered the world of death row defense work. That experience set the direction for his life, using the law to protect people who had been discarded, silenced, or condemned without fairness. In 1989, Stevenson founded the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery, Alabama, building it into one of the most respected legal organizations in the country. Through EJI, he has helped overturn wrongful convictions, challenge excessive sentences, and win major Supreme Court decisions that ended the death penalty for children and restricted life without parole sentences for juveniles. His work has led to the release of more than 100 people who were unjustly sentenced to die, and it has forced the nation to confront the racial bias embedded in its criminal legal system. Stevenson also became a powerful public educator. His memoir, Just Mercy, and the film based on it, brought national attention to the case of Walter McMillian and to the broader crisis of wrongful convictions. Later, he expanded his mission beyond the courtroom by creating the National Memorial for Peace and Justice and the Legacy Museum, the first major American institutions dedicated to the history of lynching, racial terror, and mass incarceration. These spaces have reshaped how the country remembers its past and understands its present. Across his career, Stevenson has been honored with numerous awards, including the National Humanities Medal, but his influence reaches far beyond accolades. His legacy rests in his insistence that justice requires truth, that every person is more than the worst thing they've ever done, and that confronting history is essential to building a more humane future.
Salute to the Black History Fact. Hey, real quick, before we get started in some more Ravens talk, I want to take a second to acknowledge, listen, March Madness has started. The playing games has started. UMBC was, they played Howard. They fell just a little bit short, but we want to give a shout out to our cousin, Jalakai King, right? Who he's the man on that team. He's had a great season. UMBC had a great season. They fell a little bit short, but I want to say salute to our cousin Jalakai. Congrats to you. All right, on an excellent season. I'm gonna play a little highlight because I found this on Twitter. I'm gonna let me share it. Let me see if it'll let me do that. Just a quick little highlight from that's him right there with the little reverse. All right, hey, there he is. We'll watch it again. So we're gonna give a little shout out to him, man, and hopefully you go further next year. Okay, so all right, there it is. Now, I haven't looked at the chat. Are we still are they still telling us how negative B is and how he can
how B it? Okay, I was gonna say, because I'm not negative. And I saw a couple people mentioned in the chat there was a movie made about Bryan Stevenson, starring Michael B. Jordan. It's called Just Mercy, and I was going to say, shout out and congratulations to Michael B. Jordan for winning the Oscar for Best Actor for his roles in Sinners. But I guess I'm a hater, unlike Jose, who wasn't trying to congratulate nobody because he hates Michael B. Jordan and always has.
Oh, okay. So is he a good actor, B?
He just won Best Actor. He won the best.
His name is Michael B. Jordan. He
Best Actor of 2025 is what he won. So I don't know what you're asking me right now.
Okay, Flex Zone says we could talk about how Marlon wants to golf with Trump and still go on his glizzy eating tour. Is this a positive thing? Right? I thought we wanted to talk positive. It's funny you mentioned Marlon Humphrey because I'm one of the few people that say that said, hey, we gotta keep Marlon Humphrey. I don't think he's washed. I think he can still play. A lot of people want to cut Marlon Humphrey. I said, look, I think it was more about scheme than anything. I think he still has a lot left to contribute. Off the field, man, I can't co-sign anything he does off the field. We know what it is. Negative and a snitch.
Listen. I'll tell you, we don't have to fight, Coach. All right.
Yeah, bad combo. Yeah, that's right, Coach.
Sit or tally, you pick. Unbelievable.
Let's see. Yay, Rock, what's going on? Says 5% say, are we too negative? No, so that's what I thought it said too. I thought that was an option, but you see that number changes. I think that's the percentage of people voting. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but you see it too, though, right? You see it too. But keep an eye on that number. That changes. I'm not. Are you able to vote on that? Yes, if you are, I made the mistake. That's my bad. I put that in there wrong.
Tally, you ain't going to no goddamn Tallahassee. Ridiculous.
72% say no, we are not too negative. The 22% of y'all, man,
I accidentally clicked on this one. Maxify says, let's be positive. What's your top 3 music artists?
That's a tough one. I had to think about that. Depending, Coach has asked a similar question like that, or somebody asks a similar question like that on Coach's channel, and it changes. Whatever day you ask me, it's going to change.
Yeah. I mean, Jose's right. That's a tough one to do off the top. I'm going to just go ahead and say Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, and Tupac.
Okay. All right. I can't give you an answer right now. I got to think about it. Difficult. Yeah. Okay. So, you see Maxx Crosby in the thumbnail. You guys, I'm sure by now have looked at the interview that he did. I didn't clip it. I didn't want to clip it and edit out all the expletives right?
Coach says Usher, Chris Brown, and Tupac. So now you want to fight Hendo? That's what you say.
Oh no, he should have put Nas on there.
Right.
Yeah. Nas is one of my favorite artists. I was listening to Nas the other day. All right, that's one. I can't think of the other two right now. Anita Baker's always in my top 5. Right. I don't know. But anyway, Maxx Crosby.
Yes.
Did you see the interview?
Not a fan of the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't really think he said anything too like.
This might be on me. This may have been made up based on the Twitter account, but he said that talking about how they flew in their commercial. It was a 5-hour flight and then a 2-hour drive to Baltimore. And how it was weak and all this stuff. Like, I don't know.
Baltimore. I don't know about that part.
Yeah, that's kind of makes me think, maybe it wasn't true, but maybe he got caught in traffic. I don't know. But
yeah. I mean, look, I didn't look the whole interview, but the clips that coach put out there, and they're pretty long clips. I mean, he was just talking about his experience when he got there and how he's like he knew something was off because he got there, he was pumped and he wanted to meet everybody. He said, I didn't get to see Eric DeCosta, for like 5 hours, because as soon as he got off the plane, like he got in there, they trying to run them physicals. They trying to take the MRIs and everything like that, and they trying to figure out what's going on. And then Jesse Minter, I think it was Jesse Minter, I think he said it was there, and he wanted to meet him. And then when he went to shake his hand, he could tell like something was weird, something was off. Yeah. And Eric DeCosta pulled him in another room and gave him the bad news, and he was just like, man, like that freaked me out because I thought I was on track to be ready for the start of the season. And I talked to my doctor, and my doctor was like, no, you're good, don't listen to them, you're good for the start of the season. Yeah, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So but they ended up canceling the deal. And like I said on the Ravens Roundup yesterday, like both parties are telling the truth here, right? He's right, and his doctor didn't lie to him. He is on pace to play the season. The Ravens aren't worried about this season. They're worried about down the road, right? So the concerns that they have that made them feel uncomfortable weren't about what he's looking like now. It's how's he going to look in 2-3 years, right? Because you get 2 first-round picks. That's not a 1-year thing. It's not a 1-year rental. So yes, both of them had them concerns. And look, man, I say this. 2 first-round picks was always too much to pay. Even if he was fully healthy, I felt like that was too much. You're trying to make a big splash. I understand you want a game record there. We have way too many needs on the other side of the ball, and clearly we don't have any answers to fix them. That's one. But 2, the Raiders try to sell us a lemon. The Raiders, like they haven't said anything throughout this whole thing, this whole ordeal. There's nothing been leaked. They haven't put out any press conference, nothing like that. They're just like, all right, it didn't go through. That leads me to believe they knew what they were trying to do. And EDC,
it could be that, or they know Baltimore's reputation and how the public narrative was going to go with Baltimore because they've done this multiple times before.
You think Mark Davis thinks that? No.
I think that Mark Davis more than anybody would think that, because Mark Davis isn't thinking people are going to blame me.
Mark Davis. You're saying he's thinking, their reputation is people are going to go after them.
Because they've done this multiple times before, and if we don't say anything, people will assume that Baltimore pulled out of this deal because they just got cold feet and they want their picks back.
The Ravens can't help but to not say something. You know what I'm saying? When they feel like they're right.
Mm-hmm.
When they feel like they're right. But I think they knew. So Eric DeCosta during the presser said something about how basically, hey, yes, we had an agreement, but we don't have the rights to that player yet. We don't get to bring him in right away and take a and take a look at that knee unless the team gives us permission, right? He put that in there, and when he said that, that made me think maybe he asked if they could get a look, and they said no, right, not yet, and maybe the Raiders thought, hey, if we just just send him out to Baltimore once he gets there, hey, he's yours now. Can't send him back, no, no takebacks, something like that. And it makes sense, right? If they're feeling like something's off with this, the Raiders are saying no, like, why are you being weird about it if everything's okay, right? You're not sure. You don't even want to shake that dude's hand until you can get them MRIs back. So that makes sense. Like, all right, just bring him to the castle, get them MRIs. We got the specialist from Dallas here. Let's take a look at that because something feels off. And that dude confirmed what they were suspecting. That knee ain't what the Raiders said it was going to be. Right?
Look, I think that Baltimore is super, super conservative when it comes to stuff like that. Right. Because again, you already knew his knee wasn't good. Like he was hurt. He just had surgery. Like you knew it wasn't good. And maybe, like I said, maybe it looked a bit worse than you were expecting. But this isn't like you mentioned the 2 first-round picks, and it's not a short-term thing. It is a short-term thing though, because he's 28. You're not expecting to have him for more than, if we're being really generous, 5 years. At the max, when you're talking about him being an elite player, you can't expect anything more than that. So it's not. I
don't look at 5 years as short term. I think 5 years is a good run.
5 years is the length of one first round picks contract, right? Like, So I mean, we're not talking. When I say we're not talking long term, like you trade, like Denver traded their first and third. That's a long term thing. They're expecting to have Jalen Waddle for a decade.
Decade.
Yeah. Jalen Waddle's what, 24, 25? Like they're expecting to have him for a very long time. You're expecting a few years of elite play out of Maxx Crosby.
I think you can only expect,
when you know that he's already had that knee injury before you even did the trade.
I think you can only expect. Hey, what's up, Purple Rain Podcast? That's gotta be Sutton. What's going on, Sutton? Appreciate you coming through. I think you only expect players to have a certain window of elite play, right? 5 years, you get 5 years of elite play. Even if they play, past that, at a high level, that's great. But you want that 5 years, right? And a player that's an elite player, you're going to give up. Yes, it's 2 first-round picks, but you're willing to give that up because he's elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, with his age, you are not expecting anything more than a few years. If you traded for Maxx Crosby at 24, you're not expecting only 5 years. You're expecting more than that, right? Because he's younger, you expect him to be playing longer. At 28, I believe he's 28. I think he's turning 29. You're expecting fewer years.
But you know what? But even if we traded for him at 24, like we're not giving him a 10-year contract. It's a 5 years.
No, it's not a 10-year contract. But no, you're expecting them to play at a high level longer than that because they're younger than that. Like you're expecting that he's going to hit his decline before the 5-year mark when you trade for a 28-year-old who has already had a knee injury that about.
I think they'd have been okay with that. I think they'd be okay with that if he starts to hit his decline 3 years in, right? If they're like, hey, we get 2 stellar years out of him, and then year 3, he starts to decline a little bit, but he's still Maxx Crosby. Year 4, he's not quite as good. I think they're okay with that, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they'll do MRI and they're like,
what I'm saying, like you're only expecting, a few years.
So when I say short term, I mean a year. That's what I'm thinking, right? They might be looking at it like, hey, maybe he's good for this year, and then after that, who knows? And no, you don't want to give 2 first-round picks for that. No, I didn't want to give 2 first-round picks, period. But here we are. Speaking of, okay, so there is also the rumor that, hey, because they didn't sign Tyler Linderbaum, they were looking to bring in Maxx Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. We obviously signed Trey Hendrickson. And people were thinking about the possibility of having Trey Hendrickson and Maxx Crosby. Man, what an opportunity. Do you think that's what they're actually trying to do, or do you think that's just kind of them trying to save face a little bit?
Yeah, I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy for a second that they're gonna trade for Maxx Crosby and pay Trey Hendrickson. And the reporting at the times that they were, after the Maxx thing fell apart, that's when they pivoted to Trey Hendrickson. You're not pivoting to Trey Hendrickson if you were already planning on bringing him in. But yeah, I don't believe that the Baltimore Ravens were going to do that at any point. Maybe somebody mentioned it to him in passing. Is that I think Trey Hendrickson said something about that. So somebody said, mentioned to him about him playing with Crosby or something like that. But I don't believe that was ever a realistic thing that the Ravens were planning on doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I could see it, right? I could see that if EDC is willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby, which we both thought was too much. I could see him just saying, "Hey, we going all out here, right? Like we're gonna make it to where the defense can't be denied. Like we're gonna be one of those defense that's constantly getting the ball back for our offense because this is I gotta go all out this year. I gotta save my job. I could see him doing that, and I'm telling you, if he had done that, it'd be the same reaction that I had when we traded for Maxx Crosby initially, and that is, what's up with the O-line?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if we traded for Maxx Crosby, signed Trey Hendrickson, traded for Fred Warner. There is nothing that you could have done at defense that would get me to tell you we're going to the Super Bowl unless we fix the O-line, right? So when people say we're being too negative, I think you misconstrue us being concerned about the O-line and Lamar Jackson's protection as being negative. We're just being consistent, right? This is the same thing we did last year and the year before that and the year before that. But last year in particular, when we drafted Malachi Starks, and people were hyped about that, and we said, what's up with the O-line, right? We're being too negative then, and then the season played out. And, well, now we got Fat Lele and Jorge's and all these names that that's the other thing too. I want to point out, we're the negative ones, but y'all the ones that come up with these names for these players. All right. That's not us. Traded for Bill Cosby either. Where is the O-line? Yeah. That's all I want to know. Where's the O-line? They treating Lamar's O-line like the Texans. Now here goes Shug saying we're way too negative. I know he voted yes. Fixing the O-line isn't a priority to EDC. 3 years of bad O-line play. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. So you don't bring back Tyler Linderbaum because he got way too much money. First of all, I don't agree that he got way too much money. You get whatever you get. That's what you earned in the NFL. The NFL suppresses players' salary.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever a player makes, it's not too much. They're not being overpaid. They're all being underpaid.
Except Xavier again.
If you didn't want his salary to jump that high, there are all kinds of things that EDC could have done before he got to this point. One, pick up the 5th-year option. That's the easiest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
2, work out the deal much earlier. And when his agent says, pay me this amount, you just pay it, right? You pay it and you move on and you don't worry about it. Pay the bills. Let me pause real quick to give a shout out to Pay the Bills for the super chat. Says there's a difference between negativity and pragmatism, but that nuance is lost on people. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I appreciate that. We're going to get to that in a minute. Keep voting on the polls. We're going to get to that a little bit later on. And we're going to talk about our perceived negativity on this team and why you guys think the way you think. Right. But, back back to EDC. What was I saying about EDC? I was talking about his about the
whole line. How he could have done the 50.
Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Linderbaum. So yes, there are all kinds of things you could have done before you get to this point. But once you're at this point, because you want to see what he's going to actually make out there, you gambled, and the Raiders said $27 million. At this point, you have to match. I know people are like, you can't pay that for a center, because you look at the center position and you're like, hey man, you can get another center for much cheaper. No. Some people can get a center for much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get not a quality center for much cheaper. We did get a center for much cheaper. Are you happy with that option? Right? So what is the value of a center? Well, when you don't have one, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so far, the old lineman we brought in, John Simpson. What's that dude's name from Stone? What's
is it Pinter or Pinter or something like that?
Pinter. Yeah, Pinter. We brought back Corey Bullock and the guy from Atlanta.
Yeah, Gwen, I believe it was.
Gwen. So we brought in 4 offensive linemen, and we still need 3 offensive linemen.
Yeah. Well, I think about the is Jovan Gwynn. I think about the talk about Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, he got way more money than anybody expected. Right. He completely shattered the previous center market. And you could say, hey, Creed Humphrey's a better player than him. Creed Humphrey's making 18, so they overpaid by $9 million a year. You overpaid John Simpson by 10, and John Simpson can't play. So what would you honestly rather have? Would you rather have John Simpson at 10 who can't play? I don't know exactly the salaries of Pinter and Gwynn, but those guys who you have no idea what they can do. Emery, obviously he's on his rookie deal, and that's your 3 guys up front. That's the entire interior O-line, and you don't have any idea what you're going to get except John Simpson sucks. Or take John Simpson away, take Pinter away, take Gwynn away, pay Linderbaum 27, and say, hey, we've already got Emery, and let's use that 14th pick on Vega or Fano. And, now we've still got, three of our 5 O-linemen on rookie deals, and we know we have one of the best centers in the league. I'd rather do that. I don't want to pay 8 figures for a guy who I know can't play the position.
Right. And if we have to give up on getting Trey Hendrickson or Maxx Crosby, so be it. That's where you have to look at it and say, hey, we just drafted Mike Green, a 2nd-round pick last year. We can go in the draft and pick up edge rusher, in the 2nd round or whatever, right? Or we could pick up, somebody cheap in free agency. That's where you have to look at it and say, we'll figure it out, through the draft and free agency or whatever. We'll get some veteran. We'll figure that part on defense. But offense, we have to get that right. That's where your mind should.
What's up, Kwame? He says overpaid by 10 is crazy. Hey, do you think John Simpson can play? Just a yes or no. Do you think he's a good offensive lineman?
He's not saying John Simpson is shouldn't get any money at all, right? But we shouldn't have him. Is his point? Yeah. Like, even if he came to us and said, "Look, $1 million, I'll play for the minimum, 3 years, $3 million," right? You say no to that. I don't want you on the team. You can't play.
It's like, yeah, he's all right. You need to watch some more John Simpson, my friend.
Yeah,
you need to watch.
John Simpson is decent.
Simpson. No, he ain't.
By any metric, the Pro Football Focus. What's the other NFL thing?
The SIS and NFL,
SIS
or ESPN has their own thing. Like, he's bad.
Any metric, no matter how you measure. No matter how you measure, how you grade it, he is bad. In fact, he had his worst season last year.
Yeah.
And we said, let's give that man $10 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, damn Jose, not damn Jose, damn Simpson. I'm not out there playing like that. No disrespect to them, but like, you got your money. I'm always for players getting the money, but he was not good.
Where's coach? The coach was out here calling this man Meg the Stallion 2 years ago. Meg the Simpson. My bad. I'm
there
sorry.
Coach.
That's
right.
Bad. Like, come
Meg
on.
the Simpson.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, be for real.
That I mean,
like what you're doing is, you're playing the lottery with your franchise quarterback. That's like, you might win. Like, I might play Powerball this weekend. I might win. It's a waste of money. I'm not going to win. And you're not going to win with Pinter and Gwynn and these guys. Like, you need to put the resources into that O-line to protect the most important player on the team. And the most important player on the team is Lamar Jackson, not Trey Hendrickson. Okay.
Listen,
you need to make sure, you need to draft somebody to enhance Lamar Jackson. Don't draft somebody to unlock Kyle Hamilton. He's not the most important player on the team. Lamar Jackson is. Like, they can't get their heads around who matters, like the hierarchy of the players on this roster.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like B, Jay's not even a Ravens fan. He's a Panthers fan, and he is scarred by the holding penalties from John Simpson. Holding number 76, 10-yard penalty. Y'all might want to get used to that again.
I will give him this though. I will give him a little bit of credit. Holding is better than what Fa'alele and Voorhees do. Yeah. I'd rather you hold than just let the dude run by.
Have y'all seen that? There's this clip, this mic'd up clip of what's his name? Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett. He beats his tackle, and I forget who they're playing, but he goes for a step, but the tackle yells out to the quarterback to run. Right, you can hear on the mic, and he's laughing. He's like, "Did you hear the guy say run?" Have you guys seen that clip? Who was it? He just flat beat the tackle, and he turns around, he goes, "Run!" Oh no, it was Jordan Love. He goes, "Jordan, run!"
But I appreciate that though. Like, it's funny.
Listen. I say all that to say that even that would have been better than what Fa'alele did.
We did get a cash app from Kenneth. Thank you very much. It was bad contract DeCosta. Yeah.
Hey, for that cash app, you get one of these. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Question here from Shimmy. How much of a difference is 72 or 77 than Simpson? Look, I think he's slightly better than those guys.
Yeah.
But a couple things. He's on the way down. They are theoretically on the way up. And this is more of the point. You shouldn't be aiming for slightly better than those guys. You should have been aggressively looking for the best offensive lineman that you could find. Not let's let everybody else empty the pot and see what's at the bottom, because that's what they ended up doing.
I think if they said, "Hey, Simpson is in here to be that, to be that baseline of, hey, whatever rookie we bring in, or Emory Jones has to be better than Simpson. We got to beat him out or whatever." Okay, find somebody better than that to do that with, but we'll see if they go in the first round and draft somebody. That could be what they're using John Simpson for. Why you pay $10 million for that, I don't know, but that could be the case. If we draft Vega, then and Emory Jones gets a shot to start, then that could be what it is. Hey, John Simpson is here just as a veteran piece, and just to make sure that these guys hold up and there's no fall off there. I would be cool with that, but what about center? Like, you had to pay the $27 million because there was no answer for center, and the whole time when this process was going on, and me and B said, you gotta get that deal done, because what's the other option? Nobody can answer that.
Yeah. And
this is what happens when you
the only answer was Connor McGovern, who didn't even make it to free agency.
Right. Well, Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, he got released later, but yeah.
Yeah. But when you can't answer that question, you got to go ahead and give up that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if you weren't going to pick up his 5th year option and you're saying you're not going to pay him, that's when you have to start finding his replacement. That's when you have to start developing somebody. Right? If you draft Nick Samac, right, the center that we did have on the team, you have to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Carolina Panther Nick Samac.
Yo, he went to Carolina, right?
Yes, he did.
See?
Yes, he did.
All right. So what?
Now, if y'all want some positivity, Carolina went out and they signed the top edge rusher arguably available in free agency in Jalen Phillips. They signed the top linebacker available in free agency in Devin Lloyd. And then, now this one is, I'll say, a lot of people had him ranked as the top tackle available. There's talk that he's got some injury issues, but Rasheed Walker, they went out and got in free agency as well to be their kind of stopgap left tackle while Ekwonu is still recovering. They also added John Mechie to the wide receiver room. It's been, I feel compelled to mention the negatives as well. They signed Stone Forsythe, the left tackle from the Raiders. He is our very own new Daniel Falele. He is not good. But there's not a ton of options on the O-line in free agency, right? That's why you got to be aggressive and go out there and get those guys early. But so far, Dan Morgan is having a stellar offseason. And they have kind of set themselves up, with fixing edge, with getting that guy and in the linebacking core, with even adding to the wide receiver room. They got the left tackle. They're setting themselves up to actually do the thing that everybody says they like to do, which is best player available at 19th overall in the draft. Normally that's not a thing. Teams don't really do that. They take the best player available out of need. But luckily for Carolina, they need just about everything. So it really is best player available for them. They can go D-line. They can still go O-line. They can go tight end. They can go wide receiver. If Jeremiah Love falls, they can go running back. They can go safety. They can go corner. But whoever it is, they can't really make a bad pick at that point. So
right.
Things are very exciting for Carolina coming up.
You know why? Because you see Dick Canales get the most out of the team,
mm-hmm.
right? And we looked at that defense, and beginning of the year, like not a lot of talent. But I told you, everyone was going to get the most out of them, and he got every last bit out of that.
Yeah.
Add somebody like Jalen Phillips is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep adding to that team, and you got the linebacker,
Devin Lloyd. Yeah.
Devin Lloyd, yeah. Oh, that defense is going to be so good. That defense is going to be.
And so I imagine that Christian Roseboom will be back. I don't think he signed anywhere yet. Not a huge market for him. I think he'll be back on a very team friendly deal. The Rasheed Walker deal for the left tackle, 1 year, $4 million. For a guy who was thought as the top tackle in free agency is a great deal for Carolina. He's it's kind of a prove it deal for him. To stay healthy and play well, and then he can hit free agency again. I don't imagine he's a long-term answer there. But.
This the same Walker that you're talking about, Coach? He said that's who yelled run. Who beat Myles Garrett?
Yeah, probably.
Or Myles Garrett beat him.
He was the Packers tackle. I'm not gonna down talk him for getting beat by Myles Garrett.
No,
no.
But the whole point when I saw it was funny, but I'm like, that's what you do, right? Like,
right.
I wish Voorhees and Falele at some point would have yelled to Lamar to run, because he yelled run and Jordan did run.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, by any means necessary, right? So when they signed Stone Forsythe, it was like, we better take a tackle at 19. But they got Rasheed Walker, so he can kind of fill in there. Ekwonu will be back at some point during the season. So they still need to work on the depth for the O-line. It's possible they can bring Brady Christensen back, but they've lost a couple players, and you want to put yourself in a position where Chandler Zavala doesn't have to play again. They can work on the interior D line. They can add another edge rusher. They need a slot corner. Arguably they need another safety. I mean, they brought back Nick Scott. He had a great year last year, but he's a little older. So they can kind of go any direction. They obviously still need off-ball linebackers. They only signed the one, but I mean, Devin Lloyd alone, lifted that group about 100%. But they're putting themselves in a position. I think that they're doing a great job of building the foundation of the team because they were kind of building up from nothing. It's very exciting where they're going to go. They need to add more playmakers on offense. But a full season of Jalen Coker and Teteroa McMillan. They added, like I said, John Mechie. Obviously, they have Jimmy
That's
Horn.
right. That's right.
I would still love to see them get Kenyon Sadiq in round 1. He might go before their pick, but I think that would be a fantastic addition for Carolina. But I mean, it's just. I say all this to say that it's nice to be able to sit back and watch a competent GM as opposed to what's going on in Baltimore where you're like, hey, all of our players left. Are you going to bring any new ones? And the answer is no.
Like I like, when we first started the podcast, we talked about how we're going to cover both teams and everything like that. But we knew from early on, there are a lot of like parallels between our teams, and you guys having Cam Newton and we talked about how the organization treated Cam Newton, and we see a lot of similarities with how Baltimore treats Lamar Jackson, and how we can learn from what the things Cam should have done and what the organization should have done for Cam and apply that to the Lamar Jackson situation, right? Now you got Bryce Young, and there was a point where Bryce Young looked like he might be a bust.
Yeah.
And Kanaz came in and turned things around. He turned it around, and Kanaz just kept on, adding protection. That as the first thing he did. Like when we talk about Tyler Linderbaum getting, overpaid, that's exactly what Dan Morgan did for the O-line in Carolina. He overpaid for 2 guards, right? Everybody at the time was saying that was too much money for guards. Nobody's saying that now.
Yeah.
Right. He's got the protection.
Kwame says, John Mechie, whoop-de-doo. Fun fact, he had more yards than your number 2 receiver. So.
Everybody did. Yeah. But, so the O-line is not a question, really. Yeah. Excuse me. They all, it's fine. And the next thing he did was fix the D-line the next year.
I did forget to mention they let their starting center walk in Cade Mays, right?
Yes.
Austin Corbett was the starter originally. He got hurt again. Cade Mays took over. He's fine, but he's not anything special. They let him walk. And then they went out and they signed another starting center, and Luke Fortner. Again, not sure why Eric DeCosta doesn't understand the second half of those transactions where you let a player walk but then have to replace them. But if he wants to shadow Dan for the rest of the offseason and figure out how to do that, that'd be just fine, right? If you let somebody go who was a player who started for you, who played a major role, who contributed, you have to then do something to replace them.
Yeah. Scratch says Jalen Phillips, $130 million. Yikes. Well, I ain't got a problem with that.
It was $120 million, but
that's about what Trey Henderson's getting paid, right?
Well, no, he's getting a bit less. He's getting a bit less.
112.
Yeah, and as somebody mentioned, he's coming off, I believe, hip surgery.
Who was XL? Yeah. XL is Xavier Leggett. Xavier Leggett, Money Mike.
I envy you before this moment when you didn't know that information.
But again, look, so Xavier Leggett was a first round pick, if you don't know, right? First round wide receiver, not looking good so far. But you know what they did? They said, all right, let's go get Teteroa McMillan now. They didn't sit on that pick and say, well, we got him a wide receiver. We just got to make it work. He'll get better. They said, Canal said, he's not good enough, fast enough. Maybe he turns it around, but we're not waiting on that. Let's go get Teteroa. You have to be active, man. Like, you have to be aggressive when you're trying to set up your franchise quarterback for success. You can't just say, hey, we'll get these guys and they'll develop and they'll have to work it out. No, man, make sure he has what he needs.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen with Lamar.
Because a Baltimore front office still says, you know what, man, Xavier Legette and Jonathan Mingo they're gonna grow into it.
Yeah. Okay. I asked this question to be earlier. I'm gonna ask y'all this. Oh, first let's get the super chat from Buckle Beasley. Appreciate that. Says, did y'all see Brett Coleman's video on EDC? Yes, Brett Coleman nailed every point that we've been making over the years and other content creators. It was an excellent video. And you got some people out there that didn't appreciate it, saying he shouldn't be commenting on it because he's not a fan. First of all, those are the worst people to talk to. To say you're not a fan, so you shouldn't speak on a team. Who do you think you are, bro? Right? Brett Coleman is a football fan. Okay, like he understands football, and what he was saying is spot on. If you don't like it, man, I don't know what to tell you. He's right. Don't be mad at him. Be mad at EDC.
Yeah.
Be mad at the franchise. They're the ones doing it. Right? Every year we're falling short, and you're like, man, what's going on with the team? I don't know. Well, he knows. We know. We're telling you. Yeah, that Purple Patrol dev dude. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, you got those people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got those people out there. And it's funny because he didn't say anything disrespectful. He pointed out some facts. Like, you notice how we get all these edge rushers, they don't work out here, and the minute they leave, they have career years. Matt Judon, and for all these guys that left, me and B were like, keep him. Matt Judon didn't want Matt Judon to leave, but he never had a 10 sack season. He didn't have a double-digit sack season with us. And I was like, so what? He clearly can play, and he can do it all. And the minute he leaves, he's one of the best in the league.
He was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year the first year he left Baltimore.
Yep. Zadarius Smith, same thing. Yo, Owe, who didn't have a sack with us, the minute he get traded, got 10 sacks with another team.
Yeah, he had 0 sacks in Baltimore last year, and that offseason he got a $100 million contract.
And Owe was a player that we said you shouldn't draft him because he needs time to develop. Everybody understood he needed time to develop, but y'all fell in love with the 40 time. 4.340. 4.340. What did I say about 40 times? They changed the hearts and minds of the best analysts, right? Of the best evaluators. Okay, who called it 40 times the BBL, the NFL? Somebody on the Moyer Street called it the BBL, the NFL.
Okay, so Kwame says, how was that an EDC issue? It was the coaches. Okay, that's fine. But then you don't use a first, 2 seconds, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, and free agent money on edge rushers if you know that your coach does not use them properly.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
So, right. Like, what is your job as a GM then? If you're just going to say, well, the coach didn't do his job. Okay, well, the coach is fired now. You got a new coach in there. What's the excuse this year if you don't get it done? Y'all making a point for EDC, then he was right. The coaches were just terrible. No. Did EDC draft Matt Judon? No. Did he draft Zadarius Smith? No. Like, y'all like to give EDC credit for things that he didn't do.
And the thing is, like, he needs to build. It's his job to build the Baltimore Ravens, right? Like, that's the position that he's in as the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. So if you can't rush the passer in Baltimore, and like your coaches aren't getting the most out of edge rushers, and say it's a scheme thing that they hold back the edge rushers. Some schemes are like that. Don't invest there. Invest elsewhere, right? If you're Eric DeCosta, why has your O-line been garbage for the past several years? If you're Eric DeCosta, why has your wide receiver room been garbage for the past 8 years, right?
Yeah. So Kwame says you just said Owe, if he's good, then EDC was right. He ain't the coach, is he? Well, no, he's not right. you drafted somebody, and if he's good, why isn't he still on the team?
Yeah, because you're forgetting also who traded Odafe Owe for a third safety who is no longer on the roster.
So just so we're clear, you had a guy who showed he can get you double-digit sacks the year prior, and just because he didn't get any sacks that year because the coaching staff just wasn't it, you decided to trade him, and it had nothing to do with the performance. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with you just didn't want to pay the man, right? You trade him off, and then had the nerve to spend 2 first-round picks for an edge rusher, and you already drafted. So what it should have been this year is Owe and Mike Green. You drafted Mike Green last year, right? That should be your edge rushers. You should have re-signed Owe. You could have had Mike Green, and those are your edge rushers. But you said no. Trade Owe for a safety, and then spend 2 first-round picks for an edge rusher.
Kwame says, did y'all forget Owe was about to be a free agent? We got something for him. First, what'd you get?
Why?
So first, what'd you get for him, Kwame? What did you get for him?
Where's that player?
And second, why was he about to be a free agent, Kwame? If he was so good and your GM did such a great job drafting him and all this stuff, why was he about to be a free agent?
Yeah.
Like, you could have re-signed him. Did he say, I'm never playing for the Ravens again? Like, is that what happened? Or
right.
Did your GM say, yeah, I'm not paying you that money. Let's bring in this bench safety and then let him walk?
Hey, guess what? We could have brought him back in free agency.
Could have.
Y'all saying he got 10 sacks. So where else was he good or bad? And who picked him? No, we were saying he was good, right?
And
but
you should have re-signed.
Wait, hold on.
You didn't.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Is a GM's job? Is his only job just to say that player is going to be good? Is that his only job? Hey, that player right there, he's going to be good. Or is your job to build your team?
And
so
also,
you drafted a guy who wasn't ready to play just yet. He needed a little time to develop, but you saw the vision. You said he's going to be our edge rusher of the future. And then when he became that, you said, now trade him.
Well, he said, I don't want to pay him, trade him. And I don't want to pay the guy that I got for him in that trade.
So we spent the first round pick to get the worst version of Owe. And right before he's become the best version of himself, he's leaving. How is that helping the team?
Also, I would like, Kwame, for you to point out what GM in the league doesn't make good picks. Every single GM in the league has picked good players. Is that the job? To pick some good players in the draft?
Like Mike says, definitely not paying $100 million though. I paid. He's young. I think and playing for Jesse Minter, I think I'd have paid it. Yeah, 180 people in here. Only 106 likes. What is going on here? Get those likes up. We appreciate it though. And subscribe while you're at it. Thank you. Okay. Let's woo-saw everybody. Let's woo-saw because this is how we get the negative jacket thrown on us. All right. Because when you guys say things like this and we have to explain why that's wrong, then we're just being negative. The poll right now, 189 votes. 70% say no, we are not too negative. Okay. There's still about 30% of y'all saying yes, you're too negative. It's too much. I can't handle it. The reason why you think that is because there are a lot of content creators and Twitter types. What's up, Living Legend? What's going on? Thanks for coming through. But there are a lot of those types out there. You know who they are, that no matter what, they're going to tell you everything is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you need to be hyped up about it. Right? And when things go bad, they disappear. They don't say anything. They get quiet. Right? And then y'all find your way over here because you're fired up, you're hot, you're upset. And we're telling you all those things, all the reasons why they're where they're at. Then you're more receptive to it. But when things start to calm down again, we're in the off season and you want to hear the good vibes about the Ravens and you don't quite get that from us, then we're being too negative. it's not that we're negative people all the time. It's that they haven't changed who they are. The reason why you're mad at EDC, the reason why you're mad at the organization is because they don't invest in the O-line. And guess what? As of today, they still haven't invested in the O-line. So why would our stance change? If they went and got somebody, they could have gotten anybody else at guard. My attitude would have been like, okay, maybe they got something up their sleeve. Maybe they got, they got some plans. Had they went out there and made the trade for Michael Pittman Jr., like the Steelers did, I'd be like, okay. Or Jalen Waddle. If they went out there and made one of those deals happen, then I'd be like, okay, they EDC, he's got a vision here. I can get with that. But it looks like business as usual. Yeah, Coach, that is your fault for Simpson. He spoke that into existence. He did speak that into existence. It's all good.
I can't understand a player not performing well, goes to a new team and does well, and the GM gets blamed. At what point is it the coach's responsibility to develop them? Bashadi said the same thing. Okay, the coach got fired, first off. The coaches got fired. But do you think that people are blaming Eric DeCosta because of the Oweh pick? It's the entire 8-year body of work, Kwame. Again, why has your offensive line sucked for several years in a row? Why have you never had more than one decent wide receiver, right? Like, I mean, look, I know that a lot of GMs don't like to meddle with the coaching staff at all, but why was Greg Roman your coach for multiple years? Right? Why did you allow Harbaugh to appoint Zach Orr and keep Zach Orr there? Yeah. I mean, I guess like I said, a lot of GMs don't like to do that, but okay. Your pass rush sucked for several years, right? Every single year you need more players in the secondary. You have one of the worst pass defenses in the league the last couple of years. It's a lot of issues with the team. You didn't make the playoffs, Kwame, right? And even when you did have, at least on paper, a contending team, you weren't able to get there, right? You had a top offense in the league in the regular season, then you get to the postseason and you get exposed. And what's done about it? Nothing.
Okay.
That's on the GM.
Let's do it. Let's do it this way. How many players did he get it right with? Like those are names out there. Kyle Hamilton, sure. Who else? Which players did he get that you're sitting there saying, "Yep, he got it right." And not only did he draft the right player, he's working out well for the team, right? Oweh, good player. The coach couldn't get it right with them. Who else? Linderbaum, good player, just cost too much money. Okay.
Well, and
what's the list?
Here's the thing too, because he's getting a lot of credit for the 2022 draft, and it was a really good draft, right? Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum in the first round, David Ajabo in the second, Travis Jones in the third, Falele, Jalen Armour-Davis, Charlie Kolar, Jordan Stout, Isaiah Likely, Pepe Williams, Tyler Beatty. Right? Obviously, there's a couple of misses in there, but Kyle Hamilton really good, Tyler Linderbaum really good, Travis Jones really good, Charlie Kolar's good, Stout's good, Likely's good, and there's a lot of talk about how much money those players made in free agency. Okay, well, your job isn't just to pick those players, right? Why, if you did such a great job picking them, why are Linderbaum, Kolar, Stout, and Likely no longer Ravens?
Yeah. Shout out to Bucko Beasley for the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Says, if it were me, Baker would be the pick at 14, and I would follow up with 2 wide receivers or wide receiver 2. I'm not sure what you're saying. 2 wide receivers. But unlike EDC, I know what the team needs. There you go. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you can't just say, "Hey, I'm drafting the right guys," but it's the coach. Why the coach is the reason why we can't keep the guys. All right, the coach is not here. Why are we letting guys walk out the door?
Also, if you have a coach who is not going to play young players, right? Which has always been John Harbaugh's reputation. He does not like to play younger players. He prefers veterans. Why are you drafting 10 players a year?
Yes. Yes. Why are you amassing so many draft picks? Because the formula is we're not going to spend money. We'll just keep redrafting. We'll keep drafting the replacements. But by the time those guys are good enough to be replacements, they have to get paid, and you don't want to pay, right? So it's constantly this. Hey, they're going to get better. Hey, it's only his first year. We get that every year with these players. Only his first year, give him a chance. Hey, only second year. Hey, just needs opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, time to get paid. Oh, we can't pay him that much. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, that is it, right? It's only his first year, only his second year. Third year needs the opportunity. Year 4 balls out. Year 5, nah, he's making too much.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Let's see. Flockafellow, what's going on? It says Brett Coleman exposed our front office using facts. We draft and let guys walk for comp picks, and that we don't use right anyway. And also, and I want to say this too, like what Brett Coleman was saying, it predates EDC. A lot of this stuff is what Ozzie put in place. Ozzie had this system in place for a long time, and it worked to a certain extent. But Ozzie had his flops too. Okay. I mentioned Judon and Zadarius Smith. That was under Ozzie, right? But the thing that benefited Ozzie is one, he came into the league drafting Hall of Famers right out the gate. He put together the greatest defense of all time, drafted some of the greatest defensive players of all time. And that was also in a different era. The game's different now. You have to be able to adjust to it. And we're still making moves like we're in the early 2000s. Can't do that.
Yeah. Monday morning quarterbacking. What are you even trying to say here, Kwame? Because if you listen to us, we say every single year that they need to trade multiple picks and move up and get impact players, not sit in the 4th and 5th rounds and draft 6, 7, 8 guys who a lot of them aren't even going to make the team, and if they do, aren't going to play. So Monday morning quarterbacking by who?
Yeah. We, like I said, we've been pretty consistent in terms of, and again, like that's not us being negative, right? I told you, if he goes and fixes the O-line, you're gonna start hearing some more positive things about EDC. In fact, when we traded for Maxx Crosby, what did I say? What was my initial reaction? Hey man, I'm gonna reserve judgment. Excellent player, obviously. I'm still concerned about the O-line, but it's early in the process. I want to wait until towards the end of the process of the offseason to see how he builds this team. I'm going to wait. That's all I said, right? Don't hate it. Don't love it. I could end up loving the pick. I hope I end up loving the pick if we do all the things we need to do on offense. But if we don't, I'm going to hate the trade, because you're trading draft capital to pick up guys, and we need that to fix the offense. So I don't know. I mean, I like B said, we're coming off a year where we didn't make the playoffs. Did you like what you saw out there? I don't know. Did you enjoy that? I didn't enjoy that. Tyrese, thank you for the super chat. Says not negative. It's the fact that truth hurts.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate it. I mean, yeah, like I'm not making these moves out here. I'm not the one that's getting the quarterback blown up out there. All right. Like if you feel Corey Bullock or Pinter can be the center, raise your hand. Give me some thumbs up, raise your hand, put it in chat. If you think we have the answer at center on the team, just let me know that. Let me know if you think our guard situation is just fine. You let me know that. Let me know if you're good with the left tackle, because I hear a lot of you guys taking shots at Ronnie Stanley. You good? I mean, we don't guys a replacement either. Maybe I missed something. You guys are okay with the O-line. It's good to go. We're ready to off season ain't over. I know it ain't over, Kwame. But that's what I was saying. We react in real time. Okay. We like, what do you want us to say? You want us to say, hey, EDC is going to kill it. Watch.
Yeah, it'd be a real great show if we came here every Wednesday and it was like, well, the offseason is not over, so we'll check back in September.
Well, nothing to report this week. We still didn't sign anybody.
I know that the offseason isn't over, and there are still several players who have never shown the ability to be good, consistent starters, but maybe Maybe it's different for you guys.
We signed four offensive linemen. Still need 3. But he's cooking. Thank you, Marty, for the super chat.
It says watch they re-sign 77. That's why I told y'all. I told y'all you let the ball walk and he gonna be back. That's what I told you. He gonna be
Don't
back.
put that evil out there.
But because the Giants haven't signed him yet, right? I mean, he was getting interest from them, but I don't think he's actually signed.
And we haven't given up. Our reaction to things, our criticism of things, right? This is the time to do it. We're saying it's not enough. He's got to do more. I want him to do more. Listen, if you haven't heard this, right? Because you guys like to just pick and choose what you hear from what we say. He could still get all this done. It's possible. It's not going to be easy at this point, but it's possible that this O-line can perform a lot better than it did last year. And that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal. And it's possible that he can add more weapons to this team. This offense could be just fine. They have everything they need. And then you'll hear us say that, like, hey, they've turned the corner. They're good. I feel confident about this team. But we react in real time to what's going on. You want us to get hyped up about I can't remember the dude's name, Pinter? The 30-year-old dude played for 7 years and starting in 6 games. You really want us to get hyped up about that?
10 games. 10 games.
Yeah.
Abe says gave up already. Season done. No more request trade.
No, it's not over.
And Ty says, and I'm hurt. I should have listened to y'all. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate that.
We got another super chat for you, Monty. Thank y'all, man. I really appreciate these super chats. She says, and will Trey even be ready coming from his injury? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Trey I think is a better move than Maxx Crosby. I mean, if you've listened to the show, I have a bad feeling about Trey Hendrickson in general, but taking that out, because it's not based on anything on the field or anything like that. It's just a feeling. So taking that out of it, having him instead of Maxx Crosby is a better move for Baltimore, I think. He's not as good a player as Maxx. He's not a good run defender, but he is arguably a better pass rusher. And then you still have your picks, right? Which is kind of the critical thing here, because you do need to use that 14th pick on the O-line. And then obviously you have the first round pick next year. So, I mean, they're still in a good position, right? Especially if you get Matabike back and they go out and make a couple more moves in free agency. You use that 14th pick on maybe Vega out of Penn State, maybe Fano out of Utah, who there's talk about moving him to center. And you could, like you said, come out of this with a stronger O-line as a whole. And they could even come out of it with a better wide receiving room, depending on how they use those picks, and a better defense, right? Or a better pass rush. So, yeah, it's still in front of Eric, but, you have to do it. It's like if a team is sitting there in mid to late season and you're like, hey, they control their own destiny, and then they lose 3 in a row. You're not, but they can still technically make it, right? Make it to the playoffs. You don't praise them for losing the 3 in a row because they can still get there. You say that sucked. You need to get better, and then you can still get there.
Yeah. And mine says, and they have my QB box in because no O-line help. And listen, I see you guys making fun of his boxing video, saying he didn't look good in it. Listen, if it's your first time boxing, you're gonna look like that. All right, he'll get better. He didn't look bad. It wasn't Stephen A. Smith bad or anything like that. He looked fine. He'll be all right. Kwame says,
somebody said I lost it. We can't debate. Divergent opinions not welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
Both, as somebody else said, both things can be true.
Yeah.
I'm messing with Kwame.
Yeah. Didn't you box, Jose? I did do a little boxing. Didn't last long. I got into a little trouble, so mom made me stop. This was when I was younger. But yeah, boxing is a great workout. It's a great workout.
Yeah.
It's different, man. If you can make it, if you can stick with it, that changes your whole mindset. It's a grueling workout, but it's something. Lamar got to work on his balance, but he will learn. Yeah. We're talking about boxing, yeah. Why are people? This is what Michael Smith. What's going on? Says, why are people making Maxx Crosby a victim when the best knee specialist said no, don't make this trade? Because it's nobody's making him a victim. I can understand the frustration. Listen, I was frustrated. I didn't even want the trade to happen, but I was frustrated. Like, he's an elite player, so even though I thought we shouldn't have given 2 first-round picks for him, I'm thinking, okay, he's on the team and he's going to kill it, and our defense is going to be sick. I already thought before we got Maxx Crosby that we're going to have a very good defense with Jesse Minter and Anthony Weaver as a coach, right? I was already thinking that. Getting Maxx Crosby, icing on the cake, I thought we were going to dominate. And then to hear, oh, the deal is off, yeah, that's frustrating, right? And not having all the answers right away and reacting in real time, that's what you get. But yes, now that we're a few days removed from it and you got more information on it, you can't blame EDC for that, right? Like, you can't do that deal. That's too much. And the Raiders, I don't think, disclosed everything. I'm okay with him saying no. I can't do it. But because of what this is the first time we've done something like this. There's going to be a speculation of, was that really it, or did you just get cold feet again?
Yeah, and to your point about Maxx Crosby, I think people are sympathizing with him because he didn't trade himself. Like, no. He's not at fault in this situation. It's the Raiders, or I mean, I guess the Ravens, depending on your viewpoint. But it's one of those two teams. It's not Max's fault.
Yeah. And we got another super chat. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Says, we have a new coaching staff. We need to let them cook. We have past valid trauma, but it is kind of a new day and be more EDC kind of. Yeah. And yes, I'm taking all that into consideration. I'm seeing the moves, but even with the new coaching staff, they could be very good at what they do. You still have to give them talent to work with. And this talk of, well, we got Dwayne Ledford here and he's going to turn these guys into great players. Yo, man, you can't just turn bad players into good players. There's still got to be a certain level of talent associated with them.
Because we talk about the coaching staff, right? And the offensive coordinator obviously came from Chicago, right? With working with Ben Johnson. The first thing they did in free agency was attack their O-line because their O-line sucked the year before. So they went out and they got multiple starters on that O-line as a foundation for what they wanted to do on offense. And that's kind of just what we thought that Baltimore should do, since your O-line was very bad and it got your quarterback injured.
Yeah. Steve O, appreciate the comment. Says, I listened to all you guys on here break down the best option at free agent guard. Yeah, EDC goes out and overpays for Bart Simpson. See, that's what I'm saying. We don't come up with the names.
Well, you gotta be name calling like that. Thank you again for the super chat. Appreciate it. He says, is it a problem? It's hard for me to find highlight film of Gwyn, and who the hell is this punter, pincher, whatever guy? Gwyn has not played very much. Pincher has started 10 games over the course of his career. These are guys who they just haven't really been on the field a whole lot. Same with Corey Bullock, same with Emory Jones. You're kind of just going on faith with those guys at this point. And look, maybe they do have talent, and if they do, then your O-line coach can bring that out of them, and then you'll maybe have a good, cheap O-line, right? At least in the short term. Or maybe they don't play for a reason, and your O-line coach is going to say, hey, I need you to get me some better guys, and your O-line is going to suck in the short term. We'll see. Yeah. That's why it's so much fun covering the offseason.
Ian Campbell says, boxing is supposed to get you out of trouble. Listen, here's what they don't tell you, okay? The ones that make it, right? It sticks with them, and they stay out of trouble, and they commit. When you give a young Jose a little bit of skills, and not a lot of direction, and I decided to use my powers for evil and not good. You know, your mom might pull you out of boxing. Is it a problem? It's hard for me to find. Oh, you read it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got some submitted questions. We'll read that and we'll read a couple more comments. We'll get out of here because it's already an hour and a half in. We got 180 people in here. Appreciate the conversation, man. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to hang out with us more, we're going to do the overtime show next. That's on our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow for as little as $5. Y'all been donating a lot. I appreciate that. $5 will get you a whole month of the overtime show and access to our Discord channel. And once you're in the Discord channel, you're in. You know, you don't have to stay a member to stay in the Discord. We don't kick anybody out unless you do something and get kicked out. Okay, so don't do that. Also, our channel members get access to the overtime show. The link is already there in the community tab. So just go over there and click on that link. And after the show is done, overtime show will begin. And we have a lot to talk about over there. And I just want to tease it out before you read it. I want to tease this out. Let's say, hypothetically, okay, no, perfect example. Ravens played the Steelers. A lot of bad calls in the game. They came out and said, hey, whoops, our bad. We got the calls wrong, right? Y'all were like, well, why are you saying this now? Well, what if this was a playoff game? Oh, no. Let's say like a Super Bowl game. The Super Bowl game, and our team got cheated. We lose the game. Other team celebrates. They do the parade and all that stuff. And then months later, they review it and say, you know what? Y'all got cheated. Y'all the Super Bowl champions now. Would you accept that?
Yes. Because what you're describing is what happened to Carolina when they played New England in the Super Bowl.
So all these years later, you would say,
yes.
give us the ring?
Yes.
I want to know, because this is relevant to one of the stories that we're going to discuss, because this happened.
Yeah, Kwame.
Because Kwame is well versed. Yep.
Hey, for all you people getting on Kwame in the chat, come over to the overtime show. He's got great opinions over there.
Yes. Great conversation. Attitude Pop, we just talked about this. Attitude Pop is always a step behind. Did you rewind? I feel like Attitude Pop rewind the live
button before you comment.
We just talked about Lamar Jackson, his boxing workout. Yes, Morocco versus Senegal. Y'all know we talk. Yes, so that's one of the stories. We got another story involving a college basketball player who's suspended for drug felony charges. Okay. Yes. We have a lot to discuss over there. So patreon.com/LBHTShow. We're going to be talking about that. Okay. That's going to be a lot of fun. Can't change the past. What's done is done. Okay. All right. That's
That is facts, Andrew Easy, but you can produce a new trophy and engrave my name on it. So we like to look towards the future here. And
all right, submitted questions.
Game Too Easy has one of our questions here. He says, how did you, talking about me, become a Panthers fan? Should have been red and black. #Dirty Birds. First of all, disgusting. Second of all, we were living in Fort Meade when I started, Fort Meade, Maryland, when I started watching football. And, you know, the local team was the Washington Redskins at that point. And I was like, yeah, I'm a Redskins fan. They had the posse. That's Gary Clark, Ricky Sanders, and Art Monk. And I was like, they're the best ever. And then I got a little bit older and I was like, this team's a joke. And I learned that Randall Cunningham at that point was my favorite quarterback. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be an Eagles fan because Randall Cunningham. You know, and I had the starter jacket with the hat I wore to school one day, and this teacher was like, is there a problem? I was in third grade. I'm like, what do you mean? Anyway, not relevant. But then the Eagles benched my man Randall for no reason. And I was like, done with that organization. Don't like that. Not going to be a fan of incompetence. And then I was like, you know what? I don't know who I want to be a fan of, but the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers are both coming into the league soon. And I will just go with whichever team is in the NFC because I like the NFC better than the AFC. And it ended up being the Carolina Panthers. And guess what? I ended up being a fan of incompetence anyway. But we're turning it around now, though. We're turning it around now.
There you go. All right.
What? Look at that. Nero says, awesome, man. I lived in Fort Meade for like 11 years.
That's what's up.
We got a super 10 from the great one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Flock saying we got Ledford. Well, we got Mentor as well, but he's getting talent and bringing in players. We just want the same for 8 and the offense. 100%. 100%.
You will see. You will see the vibes around here change if they go out there and start making those moves on offense. 100%. Like, yes, I was kind of hoping that's what he would do. Like when there was rumors that we were, trying to get AJ Brown. Had we done that, you be getting a different show right now.
Yeah. Or they done the Jalen Waddle trade, or if you could, go back and convince Jacksonville and Brian Thomas, there's still options.
There's still options.
I mean, listen, even Stephon Diggs, it won't be as happy because it's not as great a move, but that's a clear upgrade for wide receiver 2 over Rashad Bateman signing Stephon Diggs. Another question here from Suge. Thoughts on I don't know if you've seen this yet, but thoughts on the new Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, and who is your favorite Spider-Man? Have you seen the trailer? Okay. I watched it earlier. Thought it looked fantastic. Okay. Very, very, very excited for that. I think it's going to be a great movie. Love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think he's perfect for that role. But if you're asking who my favorite Spider-Man was, it's probably always going to be Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 was like the first great comic book movie that I saw. I loved it. I don't like Nickelback, but I love Chad Kroeger and his song Hero. It was perfect. Like it all worked. It all came together. And so that's probably my favorite, or one of my favorite comic book movies ever. So it's always going to be Toby as the number one.
So Tom Holland is great though. We were talking about Spider-Man movies.
He says, "Who's your favorite Spider-Man?" I'm assuming he's talking about in the movies because,
because like Miles Morales has like that movie. I mean, does that count? Can I use that? Like, I know it's an animated.
Listen, it's an animated movie. It's our show. You do what you want.
I love it. I love it. Like that. That's I'm with you. I'm with you on Tobey Maguire for nostalgia reasons, but like just.
Suge says that counts. You know why it's not Miles for me? You want to know why? Because those movies are fantastic, but you left off on a massive cliffhanger, and then you're like, see you in 3 years.
Yeah,
I was like, nah, bro. You can't
I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about the first one.
Look, and I didn't really like Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, but the dancing scene is still hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So I don't even acknowledge that it wasn't a very good movie. Because he's Puerto Rican. Yes. For those of you that don't know, my brother Jose is Puerto Rican.
That's right. Black and Puerto Rican.
Ty says, movie look fire, but why Tom look 40? Look, Tom's getting up there, man. Thank you very much.
Because he's 38. That's why.
Right. he getting up there. And then listen, there's nothing you can do to combat aging. Like this dude plays Spider-Man for a living. And he films the movies with his wife, and he's still getting old. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's just plus, I mean, Peter been through a lot at this point.
Facts. Tactical Precision. What's going on? Says without Blade, Marvel Comics would still be in a museum. Listen, that first Blade movie, game changer. Yeah, game changer. I love that movie still.
Yeah, and listen, the only reason. I think honestly that Spider-Man 2 is like so much above Blade for me. It's just because it's Spider-Man, and I didn't know anything about Blade. I didn't read comics, so like it was a very good movie, but it didn't hit the same way that Spider-Man did.
Yeah, it did for me too. Only because I didn't think they could make good comic books into movies. Like Blade was different. Like that's why Blade was a game changer, because at the time that was the thing, right? Like. You can't turn comic books into movies. It doesn't work, They tried and just it sucked. So when Blade came out, I knew who Blade was, but damn, that was so good.
Yeah,
that was so good. And then Spider-Man, I really didn't think they'll be able to get it done. And I was like, the first one was cool. I was like, I like it.
I like it.
And then 2, I was like, wow. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I know it's gonna sound stupid now, but I mean, I was much younger when it came out. Obviously, when I saw Spider-Man 2, I was like, you can't make a better movie than that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was like, Hollywood, shut it down. You're done. Right?
Yeah. So, all right, that's it. That's the show. All right, we'll get out of here. Tune into the Overtime Show, man. We can chop it up about. We have a few stories to discuss, but whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about on the Overtime Show. Just $5. Go check it out. All right, Patreon.com/LBHTShow. Click that pin link that you see in the chat box. That'll take you over there. What you reading, B?
Yeah. Spider-Man's definitely more popular. Blade was in Deadpool, versus Wolverine. That was a nice little cameo. I like that.
Oh, let me end this poll. I'm gonna end this poll right now with 221 votes. 72% of y'all said no. 22% said yes. Are we too negative? Received 6%. Okay, because I accidentally put that as an option. All right. So question mark. All right, but the majority of y'all said
you just change that one and say I'm confused.
The majority of y'all said no, we're not too negative. We're just being real about it. And we got a new member, Blair Davis. Appreciate that. Blair, go over to the in the YouTube tab. I think it's under post. I posted, you should see like members only post. You'll see the link for the Overtime Show in there. Also, if you sign for Patreon, same thing. You'll just go to the Patreon link and it'll take you over to the Overtime Show. Do y'all talk about curling? We talk about curling
every 4 years, huh?
Yeah.
Every 4 years.
We did receive some information about a curling facility near us, so we might have to put together a curling team. Okay, that might have to be a thing. All right. How many lessons does it take to become a master expert at curling? How much training does it?
I am certain that 95% of becoming a master curler is just learning how to walk on the ice consistently.
I don't want to
do that.
Listen,
it's golden.
I don't want to downplay it for those those Olympians that go out there and they put in the hours.
Yes,
but how many hours?
It's got
is it like?
Well, let me rephrase the question. How many sober hours? I feel like if you're just want to know if you're doing that sober and like just straight, like it can't be that long, right? But I feel like there's a lot of refreshments when you're training for curling, for Olympic curling.
So some buffalo wings.
Like you saw how laid back dude was when he called out the Canadian for cheating, and that dude he was all cursing at him. He was like, "It's fine, I'll show you the video later."
Like that form to like slide it, I don't know. You probably have to be flexible, I guess.
The
sweeping part is probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna have to do a deep dive into that. All right, you gotta look out for that. All right, we're getting out of here. I need to curl in. All right, coach is part of our team. We'll be like the Jamaican bobsled team. We're gonna have an all black curling team. We just need to qualify. That's it. The wheelchair curling at the Paralympics is also crazy to watch. I saw some of those highlights, Adelia. I saw that. Yeah. Like, do we have to be disabled to go into the wheelchair curling, or is that
yes?
I just asking. Just asking. Just asking a question.
This is martial arts babies all over again. Hey, Adelia, get us out of here.
All right, y'all. We are out of here, yo. Thank you guys so much. Patreon members, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting right now. Everybody else, have a great night. We will see you next time. Peace.